Ever wondered how you might meet your end on different planets? Good, because I'm about to tell you, the universe is a vast and mysterious place, and within our own solar system lie celestial bodies with environments so extreme they make death on Earth look like a walk in the park. From scorching temperatures that would melt led to crushing pressures that would turn you into a diamond, a very small, very dead diamond. Each planet offers a unique and terrifying way to go. So, buckle up, space fans, as we embark on a cosmic journey to explore the 7 deadly ways you might die on different planets. Let's explore the deadly environments of our solar system. First stop, Mercury. The closest planet to our Sun, Mercury is a study in extremes. On the side facing the Sun, you'd be cooked faster than an egg on a hot sidewalk. I'm talking temperatures hot enough to melt lead. But before you decide to spend your time on the dark side, understand that it's not much better. See, Mercury has practically no atmosphere, which means no heat gets trapped. So, on the night side, you'd experience a deep freeze that would make Antarctica look balmy. We're talking about temperatures that would make liquid nitrogen look like lukewarm bath water. And as if the extreme temperatures weren't bad enough, let's not forget about the lack of breathable air. That's right, folks. Mercury has practically no atmosphere to speak of. So whether you're sizzling on the sunny side or freezing on the dark side, you'll be gasping for your last breath within seconds. It's a lose-lose situation, folks. But hey, at least you'd die with a great view. From Mercury, the Sun appears 3 times larger than it does from Earth. Next up, we're heading to Venus, Earth's evil twin. Don't let the name fool you, this planet is anything but lovely. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, even hotter than Mercury. Why? Well, it has a super dense atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide, which traps heat like you wouldn't believe. Imagine the worst greenhouse effect you can, then multiply it by a few thousand. That's Venus. The surface temperature is hot enough to melt lead. We're talking about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, folks. You'd be cooked like a pizza in a brick oven before you could say, "Where's the nearest air conditioner?" But it's not just the heat you have to worry about. The atmospheric pressure on Venus is 90 times that of Earth's. That's like being 3,000 feet under the ocean's surface. You'd be crushed like a bug under a giant's foot. Next, we're off to Mars, the red planet, a place that has fascinated scientists and dreamers alike for decades. Mars has always captured our imaginations as a potential second home for humanity. The idea of colonizing Mars has been a staple of science fiction and ambitious space programs. But don't let the hype fool you. This planet wants you dead just like all the others. The environment is incredibly hostile and unforgiving. First off, let's talk about the atmosphere, or lack thereof. Mars's atmosphere is nothing like Earth's. The Martian atmosphere is about 100 times thinner than Earth's and is mostly carbon dioxide. This means there's virtually no breathable air. So even if you could withstand the cold and the radiation, you'd suffocate in seconds. The lack of oxygen makes it impossible to breathe without assistance. It'd be like trying to breathe in a vacuum cleaner bag. Imagine the suffocating feeling of having no air to breathe. And speaking of cold, Mars is freezing. The temperatures are far below what we experience on Earth. The average temperature is about -80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it can drop much lower at the poles. These extreme temperatures make survival a daunting challenge. You'd freeze solid faster than a popsicle in a freezer. The cold is relentless and unforgiving. Trust me, you don't want to experience that kind of chill. But wait, there's more. The challenges don't end with the cold. Mars has this nasty little problem with radiation. The lack of a protective atmosphere exposes you to harmful cosmic rays. See, unlike Earth, Mars doesn't have a global magnetic field to protect it from harmful cosmic rays. This means you're constantly exposed to dangerous levels of radiation. So even if you somehow managed to survive the lack of oxygen and the freezing temperatures, you'd be bombarded by radiation that would give you a sunburn from the inside out. The radiation exposure is a serious health risk. Now, you might be thinking, "Hey Neil, what if I just wear a spacesuit and bring some oxygen?" That's a valid question. Well, my friend, you're not wrong. Spacesuits and life support systems are essential for survival on Mars. That's precisely what we plan to do when we eventually send humans to Mars. The journey will be perilous, but with the right technology and preparation, we can make it happen. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the realm of the gas giants. These colossal planets are not just fascinating, they're downright intimidating. First up, we have Jupiter, the king of our solar system. This giant is a true behemoth, dwarfing all the other planets with its sheer size and presence. Jupiter is like the bigger, badder, older brother of all the other planets. Its mass is more than twice that of all the other planets combined. It's a massive ball of gas with no solid surface, and its gravity is so strong it could swallow Earth whole without even burping. Imagine a planet so powerful that it can influence the orbits of other celestial bodies. Now, you might think that falling into a gas giant would be a peaceful, floaty experience, like drifting through a cloud, right? But let me tell you, it would be anything but. The atmosphere is a chaotic, turbulent place filled with violent storms and unpredictable weather patterns. As you descended into Jupiter's atmosphere, you'd be met with increasingly intense pressures and temperatures. The deeper you go, the more extreme it gets. The pressure would feel like having 1,000 elephants standing on your chest, and the heat would be hot enough to melt steel. It's an environment that's utterly inhospitable to any form of life as we know it. And if that wasn't bad enough, the winds on Jupiter are some of the fastest in the solar system, reaching speeds of over 400 miles per hour. These winds can whip around the planet in a matter of hours. You'd be tossed around like a rag doll in a hurricane. The sheer force of these winds would make it impossible to maintain any sense of direction or control. Imagine being caught in a tornado, but instead of debris, you're surrounded by swirling clouds of hydrogen and helium. It's a stormy alien world unlike anything on Earth. As you fell deeper into Jupiter, the pressure would continue to increase until, eventually, your body would be crushed into a tiny speck. The immense forces at play are beyond human comprehension. Next, we're off to Saturn, the ring jewel of our solar system. Saturn is a gas giant, just like Jupiter, but it's best known for its stunning rings. But don't let those icy rings fool you. Saturn is just as deadly as its bigger brother. First off, let's talk about the cold. Saturn is even colder than Jupiter, with an average temperature of minus 288 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold enough to freeze your blood solid in an instant. You'd be a human ice sculpture before you could say, "Brr, it's cold out here." And speaking of wind, Saturn makes Jupiter look like a gentle breeze. The winds on Saturn can reach speeds of over 1,100 miles per hour, twice as fast as the fastest hurricane ever recorded on Earth. You'd be ripped apart faster than you can say, "Beam me up, Scotty." But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you could somehow withstand the cold and the wind. What would it be like to land on Saturn? Well, the bad news is that Saturn doesn't have a solid surface. Next, we're off to Uranus, the ice giant with a sideways swagger. Uranus is tilted on its axis by a whopping 98 degrees, meaning it essentially orbits the sun on its side. Talk about a rebellious teenager. But Uranus's quirks don't stop there. It's also home to some of the most extreme temperatures and winds in our solar system. Let's start with the cold. Uranus is the coldest planet in our solar system, with an average temperature of minus 357 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so cold that the air itself would freeze solid. You'd be a human popsicle before you could say Jack Frost nipping at your nose, and if the cold doesn't kill you, the wind will. The winds on Uranus can reach speeds of over 560 miles per hour, whipping around the planet at breakneck speeds. You'd be blown off your feet before you could say, "Is it windy in here, or is it just me?" But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you could somehow survive the cold and the wind. Last but not least, we're off to Neptune, the farthest planet from the Sun. Neptune, the ice giant with a wild side. This planet is not just another cold, distant world, it's a place of extremes. Neptune is a dark, cold, and incredibly windy planet. Its atmosphere is filled with hydrogen, helium, and methane, giving it that striking blue color. In fact, it has the fastest winds in our solar system, reaching speeds of over 1,200 miles per hour. These winds are so fierce they can create massive storms that last for years. That's faster than the speed of sound. Imagine winds so fast they could circle the Earth in just a few hours. So let's start with the obvious, the cold. Neptune's distance from the Sun means it receives very little heat. Neptune is one of the coldest planets in our solar system, with an average temperature of minus 373 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than dry ice. That's so cold that your blood would freeze solid in an instant. The extreme cold would make survival impossible without advanced technology, and if the cold doesn't get you, the wind will. These winds are relentless and unforgiving. The winds on Neptune are so powerful that they can rip apart anything in their path, including spacecraft. No human-made object could withstand such force. You'd be tossed around like a rag doll in a hurricane. The sheer force would be overwhelming. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you could somehow survive the cold and the wind. What then? What would it be like to land on Neptune? The experience would be unlike any other. Well, just like Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus, Neptune doesn't have a solid surface. It's a swirling mass of gas and clouds. It's just gas all the way down. A descent into Neptune would be a journey into an endless turbulent atmosphere. So there you have it, folks. 7 deadly ways to die on different planets. It's enough to make you appreciate our own little blue marble, isn't it? We've journeyed through the cosmos, explored the most extreme environments in our solar system, and witnessed the awe-inspiring power of the universe. From the scorching heat of Venus to the crushing pressure of Jupiter, each planet offers a unique and extreme way to perish, making the solar system a fascinating but deadly place to explore. Stay curious, keep exploring, and maybe stick to Earth for now. Catch you on the next cosmic adventure.